Hey Cornerstone, happy Friday or Good Friday. Today's the day that we celebrate and we remember all that Jesus accomplished for us on the cross. An awful day for him, but a Good Friday for all of us. We're in the middle of the 40 days of grace. Today is day number 5. We're looking at grace in the new covenant. Jesus, the night that he was betrayed, he had the Last Supper, Passover, with his disciples. And he said, as he was handing them the wine, he said, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood." We're not doing things the way it has always been done, like the sacrifice, the 10 Commandments, the rules, the priest, the Holy of Holies, all that. We're doing it different. So we're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. This was says, I'm going to read it fast because there's 4 verses. Read it later when you're done watching. "The time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their forefathers. This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel. After that time, declares the Lord, I'm going to put my law in their minds. I'm going to write it on their hearts. I will be their God. They will be my people. No longer will a man teach his neighbor or a man his brother, saying, 'Know the Lord,' because they will all know me. From the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord." And the huge promises, "For I will forgive their wickedness, and I will remember their sins no more." This was an extremely bad time for the people of Israel. They were being marched, as we speak, into Babylonian captivity. They were being punished by the Lord. This is a really difficult, awful, trying time. This is crisis mode for the nation of Israel. And in the middle of this, in the middle of difficulty, in the middle of unfaithfulness, God drops a bomb on them. This is a pretty big deal. Israel always had trouble following God's commandments. They were always wavering one way to the other, from obedience to disobedience, serving God to idolatry. They wavered over and over and over and over again. And in the middle of this, God has a massive promise for them. Promise of the new covenant. We're not doing it the way we have always done it. Things have to change. Here's very quickly 3 things that happen in the new covenant. 3 things that happen in Jesus. Number 1, the law is written on our heart. No longer is it about this external thing of rules and list of things that you have to do, because it's difficult to follow all the rules and to do everything right every single time. This necessitates new creation, rebirth. We talk about being born again, that it is not possible for me to continue doing the same old, but God comes in and does a massive change in my life and brings about change in me. The law is written on my heart. Secondly, he says that I will be their God. God had always been the Israelites' God, the national God, but now it is personal. It's no more that God is living in the Holy of Holies, in the tabernacle or in the temple, and only one priest can go in there once a year. Now we all have access to God. We don't need a mediator. We don't need a priest. We just approach God on our own. He's a personal God. He's planting his spirit in our hearts. And thirdly, the big promise, the massive thing, is that God would actually get rid of sin and solve sin once and for all. Can you imagine what it would have been like under the old covenant for the people of Israel? All they were doing was covering over their sin. It's like when you send your kids to their room to clean it up, and all they do is push everything under the bed, or they ram it into the closet, and they're pushing that closet door back, trying to make sure it doesn't come flinging open when mom checks their room to make sure it's clean. But that's what had been happening with their sin. It had been piling it up, and it was like it was just being covered over by a rug. It wasn't solving the problem. But in Jesus, sin is cast away. It will never be brought up again. It will never be thrown in your face. Once it is forgiven, it is gone. Can we just take a minute right now and breathe a big sigh of relief? Oh man, that's huge. God is so good. He's accomplishing good things each and every day. Today, work your way through the devotional below. Put your thoughts, your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think, what God is talking to you about. It's Good Friday. Get excited about what God is doing. God bless you, Cornerstone.